Hello there.
What's up? What's up?
Yo, I am tired and sore. Ugh.
Sore?
Yeah, my arm is killing me today, and also my period has decided to hit me like a truck. As it do, as it do.
Oh dear.
Which is gonna be
Oh
really
dear,
rough
oh
for the
dear.
Lexington tonight.
Oh boy. Lol. Lol. Lols.
Ugh.
So how come your arm is hurting?
Because I overexerted it?
Oh, of course.
I overexerted it
course.
like
How
3 weeks
come?
ago. I gave it a week off.
Uh-huh.
Right, I gave it a week off, and
Okay.
then I did a drawing session and killed it again, and was like, whoops, and so now it's, it's been about a week and a
Madam?
half, and I've
Madam?
been, yeah,
Madam? I'm telling you, you need proper rest. You're not playing video games again, and you're not doing any art for a week.
I haven't done any
This
art
is
for a week. I haven't done any
no
art.
no 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 no
What do you
no.
mean?
You have been playing video games. You've been playing video
Actually,
games.
I have been playing Mert Mart, but Mert Mart is like
Yes.
specifically with my arm laying across the table, so I'm not like.
That it doesn't matter. There's still exertion. That's what the people don't understand. There's still exertion. You're still using your fucking arm.
Manya's bullying me.
I'm gonna bully you. You're not playing any Mort Mart for next 1 week, and you're not going to do any art. Your hand is on permanent rest. I fucking dare you.
Hello.
Welcome back to Dumb Fact Friday. Dumb Fact Friday. Dumb Fact Friday.
It's going to be fun.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dumb Fact Friday. Apparently, I am the dumb fact.
If you had told me that you messed up your arm a week ago,
I
I would have
did.
told you off a week ago. When did you tell me that?
I told you like 2.5 weeks ago when I did it. When I remember I moved my desk.
Trusted you, and I trusted you to look after your art. Listen,
This
you need
bitch.
proper rest, all right? I know this bitch. Listen, you need proper rest, all right?
You don't
just
remember
like-
we laughed that Aaron was trying to copy my arm injury?
Yes, I do remember that, but you still kept playing video games, and that means you're still using your arm. Your hand muscles, they go throughout your arm and up to your fucking elbow. So, I don't think so I have to explain that.
Are you telling me that I have to take this whole week off of streaming?
Yes.
After today?
Yes.
Hold on, let me check my schedule. Okay.
Yeah,
I can do that.
because as someone who works in occupational health and safety, I'm telling you, because that arm is important for you, for your commissions, so you gotta give it proper rest. You can't just, and maybe at night soak it in cold water.
Stop transgressing against Chesh's inalienable right to fuck up her own body.
Her body, her choice. Is that what you're saying?
Apparently not.
Oh, okay. Apparently not. Oh, according to who?
According to, like, a lot of right-wing men right now.
Okay.
Oh
We're
no,
not
she's
happy
bullying
that
you into
women are
taking
like-
care of yourself. How dare she? Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, this is an area that you don't argue with me in about. Okay?
Do you hear me arguing?
Yeah, no, I don't. Good goblin.
I have one very
Good job.
important. I've got 2 streams that I need to do. One is the Umbrella Guy stream on Monday. And the other one is not for 2 weeks.
Okay, the Monday one is okay, but after that, you're not doing any Mart Mart. You're not playing any video games, and you're not doing any commissions for a week, a proper week. I'm telling you, if I find
Okay.
out, I'm gonna travel to Canada and I'm gonna steal Puck.
Oh.
See?
Steal my dog?
Don't make a nerd mad.
Jesus Christ. Alright.
Oh yeah, I've evolved into my full form. Whoa, 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 whoa. I am Melon Lord.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. All right, I'll do my stream on Monday, and then the next stream will be over on Debate Hub. and it will be
Yes. Huh?
the next stream will be on Debate Hub
When?
2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not till like
Just
the 25th, I believe, is the date is set for it. The link's already there. It's
all right.
already set up. It's the state of flat Earth, and I've got Fight the Flat Earth and Slice Barcane coming on.
Ooh, that's brilliant. Yes, 2 weeks. That's perfectly fine. Yep, you're taking a break.
All right.
And if that means that I have to forego my shows with you, that will also happen.
Okay.
Mm.
If you say so.
You have one show. Yes, you're resting. Okay. I'm not letting this drop. You're
Okay.
resting properly.
I have the Lexington tonight, but that doesn't need my arms. I can just sit.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to do much.
Okay. Yeah, you're consulting with me before you do anything this coming.
All right. Okay. Monty works in occupational health and safety. Can you guys tell? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, soak your hand and arm in cold water also before you go to sleep.
Cold water.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, not warm water.
I don't know how I'm gonna do that.
Because what it does, it kind of like your muscles like kind of tighten up and becomes,
This has been helping.
Condensed, more
Having
condensed.
This on
they
helps.
come together. Yes, it does, and you can get a longer one too, till elbow also if you want to help, support this part, because this is the part that really this whole thing.
Yeah.
That,
correct. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Let's go. All right.
You ready to get into our topic for today? So the election happened, and America decided that they were going to be represented by a convicted felon, an adjudicated rapist, etc., serial serial sex pest.
Oh God!
Yippee!
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant, America. What have you done? America, what have you done? Listen, I get it. Spite is a good motivator, but still, come on, man.
I'm not out here to blame voters. I'm out here to blame the system and the DNC party.
Oh, you mean Democratic Party, who didn't give anything of value in their fucking campaign to the voters?
Who did a big bad job, but in doing so, we're already starting to see the results of that and what that actually ends up looking like. Yeah.
And that's on Twitter. We already seen that.
Yeah. And, so let's take a look.
People are acting all surprised, and I'm just like, really, really.
Are you surprised? So let's start with Andrew Tate. Because of course we're going to start with an Andrew Tate. Glenn Beck.
Biggest fucking moron.
Glenn Beck, who is a political commentator. I will zoom in. Made this big old long post. Right?
Oh, wow.
If you voted for Kamala Harris and can't understand how half of the country supports Donald Trump, please hear this. We aren't who the legacy media says we are. Glenn Beck is the legacy media, by the way. That's Glenn Beck is part of the legacy media, so pretending otherwise is silly.
We are not legacy. Yeah, right, Glenn. Right.
Bill O'Reilly is better than Glenn Beck. Yes, I agree.
Oh wow! Okay. Bill O'Reilly is better than Glenn. Okay.
Bill O'Reilly's always been better than Glenn Beck. We don't want to end, quote, democracy. He put democracy in quotes. We want to return power to the people from the administrative state. We don't want a president who will control our lives and declare what we must believe, eat, drive, and teach our children. We want one who will deregulate and let us live without the government constantly breathing down our necks. We don't want to abandon science, in quotes. We want actual science grounded in common sense and reason. So, anybody...
I have a problem with that statement.
Anybody who's followed us or follows, like, the scientist stuff we've talked about before, one of the things anybody who knows anything about science will know is that a lot of times science is counterintuitive.
Yes, very counterintuitive.
This is flat earther logic.
Sense? Yeah, and as a quote-unquote abandoned science and saying actual science, that's telling me that they don't understand what science is. There's nothing like actual or not actual science. This whole like thing about, oh, there's pseudoscience and then science. The pseudoscience, that's just a fucking oxymoron. It's just a fucking oxymoron that doesn't exist. It's either science or not scientific. That's all it is. So to say that, that tells me like there's something else going on in the background. And you're talking about that you want people to be deregulated, or the lives to be deregulated. Then why are people insisting on getting Bibles in school, or like Bible classes in school back when in public schools especially. And what was that, the fucking oath to the Constitution,
Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance, that. Plus, why are we making abortion illegal? And to the people, before they say, oh, it's not been illegal, it's been sent back to the states. Yes, it was. And then those 13 of those states made it illegal.
Yeah.
It's banned. And what we are already started seeing the effects, I think so, according to CDC, the mortality rate of pregnant women dying during, due to like not getting access to abortion has doubled in a decade. It's doubled.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this whole don't give us like this word salad and word service. We know, just stop, okay? Just come out in the open. At least some people are just coming out right in the open. So yeah,
I like this part. We know racism exists, but we don't believe people are born racist, and that the only way to defeat racism is with more racism.
Huh? What?
We believe in the American spirit, that we determine our own destinies, no matter race, religion, or class. Our founders knew that government left unchecked would accumulate power at the expense of the individual. That's the road we've been on for over 100 years, since the early progressive convinced Americans that man cannot rule himself, that we need overseers, elites, and experts, in quotes, to tell us what to do. Guys, we don't want to abandon science, but we don't want experts in those fields.
Right? That's the problem with the Project 2025 also, right? They're saying all the similar things, but they are disregarding when experts and when people who have worked their ass off in those fields and are competent in those fields. They're saying, no, we're not going to listen to you.
They want to use experts the same way AIG uses experts.
Yeah.
I voted for the man who promised to empower the people and restrict the government, to let us rule ourselves again. That's what made America exceptional. That's what we want to make great again. Anyway, after that bloviating speech, it got retweeted with a tweet from Andrew Tate that says, I saw a woman crossing the road today, but I just kept my foot down. Right of way, you no longer have rights.
Men usually don't actually move out of the way of women. Women tend to do that when they're walking anyways.
Yeah, but he's talking about having a car and hitting a woman with a car because she was crossing the road.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He was... Okay, I didn't know that context.
That's what keep his foot down meant. Keep his foot down on the gas pedal.
Did you just commit another crime?
Well, first off, he's on house arrest, so I doubt he's driving anywhere. And the majority of his cars were taken from him, so I doubt he's literally done this right now. This is far more hyperbolic. But the point stands.
Yeah, the point stands. Like, did he just admit to committing hit and run?
He would, or he's going to if he had the opportunity, yada, 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 yada. He's also in Romania, which is also hilarious, so he's still, like, but the reason why a lot of this is problematic is you've got people spouting bullshit like Glenn Beck, who pretends to be very smart, that
is not smart.
That is then being amplified by people like Andrew Tate, who, whether you like it or not, is very influential to young men who came out in droves for Trump. Right?
Yep. I'm not going to be surprised if he was given some money in the back by some lobbyist to spew support for Trump in their online shit that's going on. What's that university? fucking university thing.
Oh, Andrew Tate's?
Yeah. I'm not going to be surprised if there was a lobbyist who gave them money to promote Trump in those areas. Yeah. And that's why he's coming down out with such audacity.
Yeah. Also, here's an example of, well, let's save this one. We'll sit on this one for a second. This one's been going around. Women threatening sex strikes like Lamau as if you have a say.
Oh boy.
This tweet has had this context added and removed multiple times. So, wow. Before we get to Nick Fuentes, no, not that one.
Holy shit.
Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Here it is. Elon Musk removing the community note stating that non-consensual sex is rape is very, very telling. So this is what it used to say. That's not what it currently says. You can see how it's been changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
See how it's added stuff? Right here. They added a new one. Yep.
Yeah.
He's bragging
what was
about
that
it.
having? Oh, wow.
11 million impressions, and we even got Elon to remove my community note so I can profit from it.
Whoa.
Welcome to current social media after the election. Yippee!
There's still time. You can go to Blue Sky. Just saying. That's the thing, right? I'm not going to be surprised that a lot of them are bots, right? I'm not going to be surprised, but to even think that people have the courage, or if I might say, or the audacity to come out in the open and act with such impunity. Yeah. Welcome to America, motherfuckers. I hope you have a good ride. Oh, God. Oh, shit.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this guy is kind of like likes to... Bruh.
Who the fuck is he, anyways? Who is he?
Meanwhile, we also have Nick Fuentes. Let's see, where is he?
Oh, yes.
Come back here, Nick Fuentes. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? He ran away. Come back. There he is. Nick Fuentes. Your body, my choice forever.
Yeah.
He also went on a really big rant that I'm not going to play for you because it's super fucking cringe. About how he's talking about he gets to control women's bodies, blah, 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 blah. Part of the problem is things like, still illegal. That's still illegal, guys.
Bruh.
For now.
Oh, God.
Well, it's not like there isn't petitions to from a lot of these influencers, right? Because there's a really strong movement of right-wing podcasters and right-wing content creators and right-wing political pundits that have been pushing for no-fault divorce and saying that marital rape isn't a thing. Steven Crowder, for example.
There was an experiment done in another country where they were asked about this, is hitting your spouse okay, and, forcing them to have sex with you is okay.
Yep.
That was in India. And majority of the society in India said, yeah, she's a wife. She owes sex.
Yep. Yeah,
so
this is also the same group of people who are pushing against the age of consent for marriage being changed.
Holy fuck.
Remember when there was a push to make marriage illegal? Because right now there's a handful of states that you can get married really, really young as long as you have parental consent.
Yeah.
There was a push to get rid of that. These are the people who pushed against it.
Wow.
So if you want to be aggressive and a little bit hyperbolic, admittedly, about it, you are currently facing in America where the people who want younger ages of consent, you want younger access to marriage, lack of abortion rights, and lack of contraception rights, because that's also a thing, and that marital rape is no longer a thing that exists, and getting rid of no-fault divorce. all in power all at once. They have the presidency. They control the. They're in control of the House right now.
Judiciary.
Yeah. Oh, and they're in control of the Supreme Court. So, as much as this, Senate, thank you. As much as this is, it might sound hyperbolic and it might sound aggressive, this is a very real thing that America is currently facing. And it's being led by people like Nick Fuentes and Andrew Tate.
It was like a decade ago, this would have been unfathomable. Like people like Fuentes would be at the forefront of like policy change
Joseph,
in America, especially.
Really quick, you're saying we. Did you vote for this?
Bruh. Nah. Shit.
Okay.
Okay,
it said we, and I was like a little bit concerned there for a second.
So who are you talking about when you say we? Let's maybe get a clarification on that.
I didn't want to jump down your throat because I was like confused.
Nani?
But I need people to understand that as much as I like prefaced with hyperbole, those were facts. This is a right-wing government with a lot of power that has regularly talked about how women are not people, have regularly talked about marital rape not being a thing, have regularly brought forward getting rid of no-fault divorce, because in a world where you have no-fault divorce, you remove no-fault divorce and marital rape is not a thing, being raped by your husband is not cause for divorce.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very, very clear. I'm going to say this again. In this world that they are proposing, being raped by your husband is not possible and therefore not a fault of the husband, and you cannot be divorced on those grounds. And they want to allow people to get married at younger ages, which means a younger aged individual, like an adolescent, because part of that, like the age of, if I'm remembering correctly, the age of consent for marriage with parental signature is 16 at least, if it's not younger, if I'm not mistaken. It means that parents can sign away their kid to get married to somebody that they cannot divorce from.
Also, so that means that the kid is enslaved to the whims of the parents till they become an adult, and then also they have to then
they're already signed away to whoever they're married to.
Yeah, I just cannot with this shit, seriously. America, what have you done?
I just want people who voted Republican to understand that this is what you voted for. You voted for a scenario, and I think women especially need to understand that how you feel about your husband is not cause for divorce in no-fault divorce.
Yeah, all those things are gone. All those things are gone.
Yep.
I don't know. Even like I get it that Democrats might be like pissed at like the Democratic Party for disregarding them, but to be so spiteful to go and like vote or not vote at all, to vote for Trump or not vote at all.
No, the Democrats the Democrats who ran the election deserved this. The voters didn't. The people don't. The Democratic Party deserves to lose. They absolutely do not deserve to win.
Lose, but still. Yeah. But still. It's like
both these things can be true at the same time.
Yes. But still, like, why would you?
Why would you what? Why would you abstain from voting or vote for Trump?
Abstain from voting and voting for Donald Trump. It's like, why? You know the current climate. You know this the state of the Senate and of the
Do you want to know the answer?
Why? Go on. I'm
because the Democratic Party refused to say that genocide wasn't a bad thing.
So you're telling me that American people are willing to risk their freedom for freedom of others? Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
that's pretty American. Yeah, that's a very much American thing. We're talking about self-assured
I
destruction.
respect that.
We're talking about
respect that.
people who will 100% and absolutely say, "Oh fuck me? No, fuck you. You're going to take me down. I'm going to take every single fucking one of you with me."
I think that's
And it's not, and the
Democrats...
Democratic Party has shown over and over and over again that they are not going to protect reproductive rights regardless of whether they're voted in or not.
Yeah.
They had the opportunity and they didn't. So voting them in this time would have changed nothing.
They just they use these points as election campaign points, and I think so the Democratic voter base, they are sick and tired of it. They're fucking sick and tired of it.
The last
if
three
you mean
people,
it, get it done.
The last 3 people that the DNC has ran for president were not chosen by the Democratic voters. The last 3 of them. Nobody wanted the left didn't want Hillary Clinton, the left didn't want Biden, and they were told that they got Kamala Harris. And then
that's what happened, right? They waited for...
She ran a good Republican campaign. If she was John McCain, I wouldn't know the difference.
So, yeah, that's what it is, right? Like, Kamala was appointed, like, the candidate for presidency as soon as Trump confirmed his.
Yes.
Right? That's what the thing was. Oh, we tricked the Republicans. Brilliant. Good, but it would have been good if you had started, like, playing out that idea way before.
Well, what they did was fine, and it got Kamala a lot of momentum. They just didn't carry the momentum for her because they refused to actually be stringent on talking points, that they were too busy catering to moderate Republicans than they were to aiming for the people that they should be aiming for, which is their contingents, which are left leaning. They ran a cop, Manya. She's a cop.
God. That's... Oh, okay.
So they spit in the face of Black Lives Matter by running.
When they're running for unions. Yeah,
they ran a cop spitting in the face of Black Lives Matter. They refused to say genocide is bad, so they isolated all of the people who were people who are foreign and who have family in these countries. Anybody from Palestine, anybody from Israel, anybody from Lebanon, and their families. She isolated... The Democratic Party has isolated women since they refused to codify abortion rights. Right? By not voting along party lines. The reason why the DNC didn't get that was because the Democrats didn't all vote for something that is a major Democratic platform, which is insane.
Yeah, like, you asked for a vote.
She alienated...
asked for the votes of...
Yeah, a lot of Muslim voters. She also alienated a lot of immigrants by putting through that border policy, which if she had done that alone just to make a point, like a sticking point against the Republicans, maybe that would have been fine if she was like, well, I didn't think it was going to go through anyway because I knew these guys were going to do it, and actually play it as if she trolled the shit out of them to make a point, if she already didn't also have this laundry list of other problems.
So that's what, that's a stunt that Joe Biden pulled up in the Senate. He did do that. And I think so it was around gun control, if I'm not wrong. And everybody was like, oh yeah, we care about children, blah, blah, blah. Then you will help us.
I am not going to blame Democrats for not voting for Democrats. I do not think it was a good idea to swap your vote to Trump if you did do that. That might be going a little too far, but I'm not here to blame the voters. The voters did their job and did exactly what they ought to do in this situation, which is either abstain from voting or don't vote for somebody who doesn't represent you. And the DNC failed to represent them. That's their fault explicitly.
I think.
However, we need to look at the reality. And the reality is...
I think so. DNC kind of started thinking that their voter base is like those like moderate conservatives and Republicans, and if they speak their language, that obviously the the Democratic voters are going to vote for it.
No, they've been holding. Yeah, the last three, like I said, the last three people they ran, they've been holding the election hostage by saying vote for us or else you get this. And after snuffing their own voter base 3 elections in a row, 3 times, everyone after Obama, after snuffing 3 times and after them still getting votes, the 3rd time was finally the charm when they went, why? You're not going to protect us anyway. You held the election hostage with Biden, we voted you in, and you fucked us over. And now you're telling us how you're going to fuck us over again. So you know what? We're not going to vote for you. You're going to get Trump. You're going to get Trump, and you better fucking learn your goddamn lesson. Because otherwise they're never going to fix it. They're never going to change, regardless of whether or not you voted for them. So now we have to live with the reality. And the reality is we have a Trump presidency. A majority of the male voter base of this election thinks that rape is totally okay, isn't a thing that exists, and thinks that women ought to be just providing sex regardless. So now we have to understand that we live in a time, like that America is currently living in a situation where you might see no-fault divorce go away. You might see marital rape no longer being a thing. And you don't get options for abortions, and you don't get options for contraceptives.
We'll see a rise in teenage pregnancies. Brilliant. Deal with that. That's gonna put more pressure on.
No, you're not just teenage. You're gonna see a rise in teenage pregnancies, and you're gonna see a rise in teenage deaths, and you're gonna see a rise in more dead babies. Yeah, especially if you want to call like unborn children babies, right?
Yeah, the mortality rate is gonna shoot up and shoot up at exponential at speed.
That's he's admitting, they're going with the haha, we lied to you. We were always going to do Project 2025. And like, no, to the surprise of literally nobody. Like, nobody should be surprised by that. Absolutely fucking nobody. Yeah. So, besides Nick Fuentes being an absolute fucking garbage piece of shit, this is some fun shit. This is called a quick lesson in cause and effect. This is a comment that, a DM that a woman got. It says, dysgenic communist whore, bet you have a great relationship with your father, thumbs up, your body, my choice. University of Toronto, hi there, a student of yours in computer science by the name of Noah has been harassing me on X, formerly Twitter, and I thought you should know, as someone who has known many graduates of your school personally, I find this behavior out of line with the university and thought I would bring it to your attention, and they sent them the screenshot of the person and their profile. This person's from Canada. Or at least they're in Canada. That's Toronto. That's Ontario.
What the fuck?
Yeah. There is an update.
You mean whatever happened?
Where's the update?
So whatever happens in America affects the world? Oh my god.
Oh, imagine that.
Imagine that, right?
Why don't I see the update? Here we go. Love the change in tone. I'm honestly really sorry. I don't know why I typed those comments out. That's not who I am as a person. None of it was I was just being needlessly callous. I am still contemplating telling your girlfriend what a jackass you are. Please don't. We don't really ever talk politics. If she knew about how I felt or what I've said, she'd probably break up with me. I'm sorry.
Wow. Just fucking wow.
When people tell you who they are, I think this is a really useful and interesting interaction. Because look at how fast this person changed their tone as soon as there were real-life consequences to their actions. Because whether they like it or not, there's been real-life consequences to their actions up to this point. They just weren't the ones who had to deal with those consequences. So I think what women ought to be doing, besides that this abstaining from sex and relationships, that is a protest that's already started, where women are, like, starting to be like, well, we don't have a choice in the only choice we have is to not have sex and not get into relationships with men. That's the only way to protect themselves, at best. At best.
Yeah, at best.
So
And
women are going to
still,
stop getting into relationships and particularly because men hide who they are.
yeah,
So this male loneliness problem that's like part of like this movement that voted for Trump in this first place, like your Nick Fuentes, like your Andrew Tates, are going to make it even worse for all men because women have no other option. They literally can't take
yeah,
that risk. And so what women
yep,
ought to do is continue this very, very publicly. You get a message like this, you blast this shit. And you tell that fucking
yeah,
girlfriend. And you tell other women
yes.
about who these men actually fucking are, and so everybody can stay the fuck away from them.
You owe it to them. You owe this to other women that they should know who their partner actually is.
Yep, we're gonna
To
have a
all
really big consolidation of women doing everything they can to protect each other.
yeah, it's gonna be it's I'm quite sure it's gonna be I don't know if it's gonna go at the level till the level of suffrage, women's suffrage, but in this today's age of technology and connectivity,
Hmm.
it might be in a different way. It might look very different. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
I'll
like,
just
oh, I'm
remind.
sorry. Oh, I take it back suddenly. Oh my god,
Oh my
after I
god.
called you a whore and
Yeah.
insinuated sexual assault.
Mm. Yeah, right.
Great. Yeah.
Great. Fucking great. Um, and if you want to know what it looks like when society where women don't want to have sex and they don't want to have kids, look at Japan
Mm-hmm.
and even South Korea, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
Look at their fucking population. They're aging. They don't have youngsters. They don't have the next generation. Very few people part of next generation. And in
Society
China also.
collapses.
Yeah, the society collapses. You want to protect children? Why, you wanted more children? Not gonna happen, buddy. It will go the opposite way.
I like this
There will be.
implication as if
Mhm.
women won't find other ways to get abortions like they have for the all the
They
time
haven't in the
before it
past.
was legalized. It wasn't
Yeah.
safe and it was way more risky and women died
Mhm.
because of it, but women are going to die anyway, so you're basically backing women to the corner and saying, "Well, you're going to die anyway, so risk this illegal way or
Yeah.
not and then die." So it's like, well, people are going to take the risk because of course they are.
Uh.
So you guys,
Alex Small.
you want to hear this bit? Check this out.
Oh.
This is
Oh.
like
Okay.
this massive misunderstanding that women are having. Let's take a look see.
I would love to be a stay-at-home mom. I would love to be a homemaker and a wife. I would love to be able to live on a homestead and go milk my cow and take the eggs out of the chicken coop and have one baby in the belly and on my hip and another toddler coming behind me. That's like my dream, but I can't fucking do that because the way the economy is set up is I'm forced to work. I'm forced to get an education, a higher education, a college degree in order to make enough money that I can be financially independent and afford my own home or my own rent or my own gas or my own groceries, my own insurance. And it's extremely difficult to do that. And it's very isolating as a woman when you have to do all of that all on your own, and you can't find somebody that you can outsource some of those chores and financial responsibilities like you would with a spouse. So no, being a single working woman absolutely sucks.
As soon as she said independent financially, I just fucking lost my shit. What the fuck?
Okay, it's gonna
Oh
get
my
better.
god. Is she LARPing? Is she LARPing?
Nope.
I just, oh
She
my
thinks
god.
this is a real argument.
It's the
This is something that I would have thought when I was like 12.
A kid.
Yeah.
worst thing ever. I hate
Barbies
it.
and shit.
I would go back to the 1950s in a second just so I wouldn't have to deal with this shit.
You're talking about a traditional nuclear family where the woman doesn't work in a married household with kids.
And statistically, that was the case.
You're a single woman who
Yeah.
isn't married with kids yet. Like,
Yeah,
Because
so I'm
the way
for
our
because
system
of the way
is.
it is. Most women
Woman who doesn't have kids and clearly does not understand the amount of work that goes into homesteading and taking care of children is romanticizing the concept. Yes, go on.
We're married by the age of 21 up until the 1970s.
I think it's a woman's choice. Before that, it was...
I'm gonna citation need that. The statistics of the age of women between 1950 and 1970. Age of a woman married in America, 1950.
Age. Yeah. That's the thing, right? She has not experienced the nuclear family, and she has this rosy gold picture of it. You know, when there's the good in it, there's always the bad and the ugly.
20.3 years really old in the United States. 20.3.
Yeah, so that she's wrong.
Is the median. It's a median, though,
gotcha.
To be fair.
Okay.
And let me check the 60s.
Is this you know this misunderstanding, right, that it's always going to be sunshine and rainbows, and that your partner is really who they are in front of you, you know? And we have seen that, you know, a lot of people hide who they are, and it goes both ways. Women and men both. Women can be violent too. It's very, you know, sunshine and daisies when everything's going fine, and the minute you start getting verbally abused, physically abused, and then you can't escape because you don't have any financial independence. And if you even try to escape, the state might fucking brand you a criminal for doing that and put you in jail. Or you get killed trying to escape because your spouses become violent and they won't let you go.
Following table shows the median age of men and women when they were married in the United States from 1890 to 2010. The median age for man's first marriage was 28.2 years in 2010, up from 26.1 in 1990. The median age for women's first marriage is 26.1 years in 2010, up from 23.9 in 1990. So here's the chart, if anybody wants to look. So go ahead, Manya, with what you're saying.
I'm just saying, like, you know, it's all good when it's sunshine and roses and all that stuff, right? What happens when the ugly comes out? It's never going to be sunshine and rainbows, especially in a nuclear family where there's only one person earning, you know, the income.
Well, she's blaming her issue isn't actually the nuclear family or whatever. It's that she isn't able to do what she wants because of the way the economy is set up and the socioeconomic status of America. But she's saying, well, to fix that, you do what? Women get no rights? Just because you want to do this thing doesn't mean every woman wants to do this thing. Just because you hate your life and you're exhausted and stressed out due to your socioeconomic status doesn't mean that you get to enforce something on literally every other woman in the country, or think that that's going to fix the economy. If women stop going to work tomorrow in America, America would collapse.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And also,
you'd be removing 50% of the working class.
Okay, I'll say, okay, we get the economy going great, and men can, you know, we can have families where men are, you know, having single income, and she can exist, right, however she wants to. In that case also, why would you like to take the rights away from other women?
Right.
The no contest divorce and all that shit. You can, even if the economy gets better and you get to exist, you know, however you want. Why the fuck are you jealous that other women are still about, you know, not jealous, okay, why the fuck do you want to take rights from other women? That's what the point is. They don't understand that it's not just about them. It's so selfish. They think everything is about that one person, individual, that this is going to benefit me. Anyone watching Handmaid's Tale, the series, the show series, where the main, like, a female, like, what an antagonist, if I might say, was like, it was shown that she thought she will be treated really, really good under that whole setup. But what happened? She was abused. She was exploited. She lost her fucking finger for standing up to her fucking husband.
Mikey in the chat says, "Hi, Mikey." Says, "Life's too hard. Turn down the difficulty. I'm just a girl. Baby girl, please. Ain't nobody got time for that." She is making a very gross assumption that she cannot justify, and it's that being a traditional housewife in the 1950s was easier.
Yeah, right. You know,
and the answer is it's not. It never was.
You know what was also high? Death by poison of males in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying. Yeah.
So what are the odds? What are the odds, Monty? Do you think? Like, let's go down this little bit of a hypothetical. So let's say that what comes to fruition is likely, right? Like, we think it's likely that you're gonna start seeing women losing no-fault divorce. And men losing it too, by the way. That means men won't be able to get no-fault divorce either, so if you're getting abused by if you're getting abused by your spouse, you're fucked too. Or if you're getting sexually assaulted by your spouse, you're also still fucked, by the way. So just so you know, you're not helped by that either. It's bad for men
out there who voted for this. Yep. Never ever assume that you cannot be a candidate for domestic violence or abuse. Never ever assume that, unless you're never going to be in a relationship or never going to marry.
Mm-hmm. So, and then let's say that so marital rape is off the table, right? All these things are coming to fruition, right? What happens to the newer generation growing up here? Do like the lonely incel men who think this is going to solve all their problems? Does that solve any of their problems?
No, women will not get into relationships. They won't at all. They will just keep working, and they will keep, getting themselves educated. They will get cats maybe or dogs, but they will never get into relationships.
You know who they're going to get into relationships with? Other women.
Oh.
We're just roommates.
Yeah,
We've been roommates since college. Yeah. We're not married. What do you mean?
Yeah. So, women will just off their husbands and say that's also possible. If you push someone and they're desperate, and if they have been abused, there's something called that a breaking point. And if someone reaches that breaking point, we'll see a rise in that also. Spousal murder.
You're gonna you're gonna see a drop in divorce rates, but what you're also gonna see is a drop in marriage rates, and you're gonna see an upscale in death.
Yeah. And also drop in your population growth. No new babies coming. And it will take time. It will go the other way first, obviously. There will be a big boom of like kids coming in and, women going off work if that happens, And then it will slowly start, reducing itself. And in 1 decade, you will see the difference. In 1 fucking decade, you'll see the fucking difference. And then America will start wondering, oh, what, we don't have enough people to work for the economy.
Well, these are all people that are wanting a civil war. These are all people, like, here's my next thing. Do you think that if they get rid of all these things, do you think that women will have access to guns, or do you think they're going to come for their guns?
I think so. What will happen is they're going to deny women access to guns, not men.
Yep.
I think so. That's what they will be more specific.
Yep.
And then again,
people are talking about defending themselves, and women defending themselves from assault and being prepared to deal with this. And one of the things that people are suggesting in America is to get a gun. And I'm like, I have 2 things about this. First off, if you're going to do that, make sure you get education around that gun, because a gun being around you that you don't know how to use is going to be more dangerous to you than not having a gun at all. So if you're going to do that, make sure you get education around it, and make sure you know all about the gun safety. Second thing, you need to understand about current day America. If I am not wrong, judges in America, in cases where a woman shoots somebody and maybe kills them or doesn't kill them and they claim self-defense from sexual assault, the judge tends to rule against you.
Yeah.
There is a leniency in the judicial system where there's a lilting towards punishing women for defending themselves using, like, call it violence or whatever, by defending themselves against men explicitly. So, like, that lilt will lilt towards the man's side. So just if you are doing that, be aware that that is currently the lilt, and it will likely get worse. So just be aware.
Yeah, that's another bait. Yeah, just saying. And also, like, to all the people who are like, oh, they're coming for our guns, watch how the guns access is reduced for women.
Yep.
They will restricted, yeah. They won't have problem with that. They won't have a fucking problem with that.
No.
So all those, like, little pink, pistols that you get, or the pink ones, or the gold ones that you can go and purchase, they're gonna go fucking off the market.
Yep.
And then what will happen? The argument that the people use, that who always are like screeching that they're gonna come for our guns. People find a way to get access to guns anyways. Women will also find a way to access guns anyways, you motherfuckers.
All I'm saying is that if you are going to go that route, and if you are going to try and defend yourself that way, just be aware. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you not to do. If you can do it, I am a very big advocate of one of the best ways to make laws change and things change in the direction, and bureaucratic changes in the way you want them to do, is malicious compliance. That is one of the best ways to get things changed against like a government that doesn't like you.
Yeah.
And doesn't want to do whatever you want. And we should let this lady finish what she's saying.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
She's not done. It's gonna get worse.
Oh, she's not done. Okay.
My thing broke. There we go.
So no, being a single to deal with this shit.
You're talking about a traditional nuclear family where the woman doesn't work in a married household with kids.
And statistically, that was the case.
You're a single woman who isn't married with kids yet.
So I'm for it because of the way it is. Most women were married by the age of 21 up until the 1970s.
I think it's a woman's choice. Before that, it was societally encouraged to marry young.
Yeah, and it was better for women mental health-wise long-term to be able to go into that long-term committed relationship and have the established family instead of being forced to slave away for a corporation that doesn't like you, doesn't care about you, makes you sit under fluorescent lights for 8, 9, 10 hours a day. You get a lunch break, you get health insurance, but do you have somebody who loves you staring at you every day like your child? No.
So you
completely disjointed. Her thought process is completely just disjointed. She is complaining about work-life balance and blaming not having the nuclear family. Nobody loves me and I don't have anybody who cares about me. I'm single and miserable because I hate my life and I hate my job. Maybe it's because you fucking hate everything around you and that's why nobody wants to be with you and you're taking it out on every other woman in America.
Or it's possible your partner is a piece of shit and you want to blame the economy for that.
You want to talk about mental health? This was back in the day when they were giving women, like, morphine and tampons. Can we bring that back? If we're gonna bring something back from, like, the 50s, can we get morphine and tampons again?
Yeah.
That'd be great. First off, yes. Yeah. Second off, the other thing, if you want to bring back the 50s, this is what I mean when I've said this a couple times, and I'm going to keep saying it. The Democratic Party needs to change their messaging to yes and. So if people are like, we want to go back to the 50s, we want all this stuff from the 50s, you say, okay, yes, let's do that. We're going to start by, because you're complaining about economics. So we're going to start by fixing the economics. We're going to roll back taxes and everything that was our economic policies back to what they were in the 50s, and then make some minor adjustments to adjust for inflation and adjust for things. Then once that's established and we've rebalanced our budgeting and we've rebalanced our economy, then we can start changing the social things, because it's not the government's job to impose social norms.
Yeah, you want it to be deregulated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and also, like, do not mention what you're gonna do with that 1% of people whose income is like off the charts. Don't say anything about them. You don't owe them shit. Yep. And if they say, oh yeah, we are going to drop everything and we're gonna go to another state or another country where we'll get better tax cuts and blah blah blah, tell them, okay, go, leave the infrastructure behind, we will make it public.
Yep.
Take over. They're like, leave the infrastructure behind, leave everything behind. we will take over and we will make it public. That's why I think so India's a little successful on international markets also, because a lot of its sectors, they're public and private sectors.
Yep.
And like sectors like coal mining and fuel generation and railways and all that, they are public. They are bad, but they're still public. They're under the control of the government. The government
Also, for women who are planning on stockpiling any type of contraceptives, make sure you look at the date and make sure you research and know how those contraceptives need to be stored.
Yeah.
So make sure you mark all of that down, and sometimes labels can rub off, so make sure you have it like written down somewhere, so that way you can
there's a screenshot or something like that.
Yeah, and, write it down on an additional piece of paper, maybe take a notebook, whatever you can. Just make sure that if you ever feel like you're getting raided and you need to burn all those now illicit drugs, make sure that you burn your book.
Yeah, that book, yeah. Your scrapbook, yeah, along with that. Yeah,
yep.
Gotcha.
So moving on, prepare yourselves to fight for women's rights like it's 1884. Women threatening sex strikes like Lamau, that's that John guy we looked at earlier, and then literally Trump won. Women of America, this is now your fate. I like how even they believe that it's a bad thing. Like their language is
they're like suffer because it's bad, not because it's good, and we'll have a better future, blah blah blah. No, we want you to fucking suffer, women, for asking for equal rights.
I own your womb now, slut.
Time. Sorry?
I own your womb now, slut.
And that's where I really, really get, agitated, if I might dare say, and upset, because if a woman doesn't marry, she's a fucking, the Schrodinger's slut, right? If the woman doesn't show like regard to the man, she's a fucking slut and whore, anyways.
Yeah, it's a catch-22.
And if they rape a woman, then she's a fucking whore slut, anyways.
And if she's married, doesn't matter.
She's a fucking whore and slut, anyways.
Yep.
It's always women who will suffer in this and will bear the consequences, and they don't get it. And I really, really hope, I don't want the things in America to devolve to that level, but I really hope the women who voted for Trump get a slight taste of that and then realize, oh shit, we fucked up. And hopefully by that time your voting rights have not been taken away or being granted to your fucking partner or your spouse.
Oh, that was a thing that was already going on. Men were literally declaring out loud that they took their significant others' voting ballots and voted for them, or watched over their shoulder to make sure they made the right choice.
Which is illegal.
These women, the women who are in those positions who didn't want to vote for Trump and forcibly had to vote for Trump, need to divorce now. Like, right now, before they even lose the opportunity.
Yeah.
Side note, this person responded, and I got a kick out of this one. How did you fight exactly? Did you go to war and die for them rights? Yes.
Women's suffrage. It was a kind of war, and women did die in that.
It was a war. Yeah, it was literally a culture war. It's called the Civil Rights Movement.
You fucking baka.
And there were riots and people died, but also women went to war in World War I. Women went to war in World War II. Women have been going to war forever. This also implies that it only counts if it's, I guarantee you this person's like, it only counts if it's American. But, like, it completely flies in the face of having any understanding of historical context and knowing anything about even World War I or World War II.
It's so funny, right? Because, like, you have, like, Queen Elizabeth from England, right? That monarch way back, right? She was a monarch, and she was part of wars also. She was leading them at some point. She was the leader of those wars. All right, and then we have in India also, we have had really many queens who have defended their kingdoms against the British takeovers. That's also happened. So to say that, and that was done via wars. So to say that women haven't served, or if you're saying that women haven't been part of combat in war, it's because not because they don't want to, it's because the access is denied.
Mongolia exists.
Oh boy. Yeah. This is the Queen of Jhansi, Manikarnika.
Joan of Arc exists.
Oh boy. Right? Oh my god.
Like, this is completely ignoring the woman sniper who was, like, fucking yeeting people by, like, shooting them in the kneecaps and then
Nazis?
waiting for somebody to come and help them and then shooting the person who came to help them. This is ignoring the women who flew propeller planes for bombing runs. Let me pull up the name because I don't remember what they were called.
God, these fucking morons. That's what the thing is, right? This is also like an attempt to rewrite history. What's happened in history. That's also
the Night Witches. That's what they were called. Ooh, check this out. Like you name. Actually think this isn't a thing. Check it out. Night Witches. A German nickname for the all-female military aviators of the 588th Night Bomber regime. Though women were officially barred from combat at the time, Major Marina Raskova used her position and personal contacts with the Soviet leader Joseph Stalin to obtain permission to form female combat units, plural. Combat facilitated and ushered in a reluctant acceptance of women in the military based upon practicality and necessity than for equality. On October 8th, 1941, an order was issued to deploy 3 Women's Air Force units.
Oh. So 3 units.
3 units. Comprised primarily of female volunteers in their late teens and early 20s.
Late teens, holy shit. That's
an attack technique of the night bombers involved idling their engine near the target and gliding to the bomb release point with only wind noise left to reveal their presence. German soldiers likened the sound to broomsticks and hence named the pilot Night Witches. Due to the weight of the bombs and the low altitude of flight, the pilots did not carry parachutes until 1944.
And without parachutes. Holy shit, that's badass.
When the regiment was deployed on the front line in June 1942, the 588th Night Bomber Regiment became part of the 4th Air Army of the Southern Front. In February of 1943, the regiment was honored with the Guards designation and reorganized as the 46th Guard Night Bomber Aviation Regiment in the 325th Night Bomber Aviation
Wow.
Division. Guys, women didn't go to war. We're not gonna... Women, by the way, who were going to the front line as medics don't count, apparently, by the way.
In World War II, there were Indian women who were acting as medics on the fronts. Also, and the thing is that if you notice, it was a woman had to convince people to allow them to be part of combat forces. That's what it was. It's not that women don't want to. Women are denied access, and they're still denied access. Yeah, the policy has changed, but the prejudice is still there. It's the prejudice that exists.
Alice Scummer says, women can't be warriors. Boudica says hi.
Yeah. Don't blame women for this. Don't blame women for this. This is all patriarchy denying access to certain combat positions to women. For reasons, don't know. Maybe because society still sees women as just wombs to birth babies, and they don't want to risk losing those wombs, I guess.
We can all agree that we don't want to go to war, and war is bad, and people should not get drafted. You also have to acknowledge this is badass as fuck.
Yep.
So to pretend that women were, and again, this also is just a gross misunderstanding of what goes on during war. This is representing war as if it only counts if you have boots on the ground. And that's not how war works.
Or you have a gun in your hand.
Read The Art of War, for fuck's sakes. You need supplies. You need uniforms. All these things manufacturing needs to happen, and supply runs need to happen. It's not like all of the people doing the coding and the mapping and people who are on the radio suddenly don't count as part of the armed forces. They all count. They're all important. If women, what women did in World War I and World War II in America did nothing, and you removed them, you wouldn't have guns, you wouldn't have bullets, you wouldn't have boots, you wouldn't have coats, you wouldn't have food,
medical supplies
to feed your fucking army. You absolute goddamn food boosted ass bonobo. Like, you absolute goddamn fool. I'm not saying, I said looks like someone hasn't cracked a history book isn't me saying you don't know women in history who have been part of war. I'm saying you don't understand war at all.
At all. You know, and what there would have been no one to keep your economy going, so you could get that constant supply of food, medical supplies, and clothing, and all that shit, and weapons, you know, and equipment. Who would have kept your economy going? Women. They did it in England. Women took over all the jobs that men were doing while men were at war. By sounds of it, England is more progressive than fucking America at this point.
This is like not even considering like women in politics. Women have been in politics the whole time, whether you acknowledge them or whether whether you decide to count them.
Fuck's sake. They have been queens. Fucking morons. Even though, like, maybe they were assassinated or their reign was short due to whatever reasons.
The recent past Queen of England served.
Exactly. She did. She became a truck driver, if I'm not wrong. She drove one of those trucks. And a mechanic.
Yep.
Of those trucks. So, yeah. This is, again, another attempt to rewrite history. And and to gloss over the fact that
this isn't even a rewrite of history. This is a LARP and a romanticization of what they think history might maybe be without ever having looked at it. You can't rewrite it without even looking at it. This is a fantasy.
And also, like, not accepting the fact or or glossing over the fact that it's not that women don't want to be in combat positions. They are not allowed because of all the prejudices that are still out there, that they're weaker than men. They can't carry their fucking gear, you know? Not that we couldn't modify the gear, you know, around, you know, how much you can carry, what's your maximum limit, right? But still, women have proven themselves time and time again. It's just the patriarchy is still denying them access. It's not women backing off. It's the patriarchy pushing them back. That's what's happening and has happened. So don't be trying to tell us that women are not in, you know, combat, you know, positions because they don't want to. No. They are denied access. That's why they are not there. So get out of here.
Molly Pitcher is a nickname given to a woman who fought in the American Revolutionary War. 1778.
I
helped to defend Fort Washington in New York in November of 1776.
You know who, like, there was a woman on the team that cracked the Nazis, you know, Enigma machine, you know, which used to, like, send out, you know, information coded. A woman was on that team of mathematicians and, you know, programmers and whatever. Just saying.
Space, like, you only have Elon Musk in space because women did the coding, for example?
Yeah.
Oh, go figure. Let's see, I had one more. Yeah, here we go. Yep.
In the history around when women were working in NASA, they weren't allowed to be engineers and shit. They would do complex mathematical calculations, you know, and calculus. And they were called calculators.
Yeah.
They were reduced to an item, an object to do a certain job.
Actually, I think the item was named after them. Was it not? The calculator didn't exist at the time.
Oh, exactly, right? Oh my god. Oh.
That
because
thing on
we
your
were
phone?
in a space war against Russia. We were in a space war against Russia, you dumb motherfuckers. There are various types of wars.
Godless Scummer for 5 says, my mother served in the British Navy, not in a combat role, but that was just the attitude at the time. But everyone plays their part in the military.
Exactly. It was the prejudice that women were not given, and that's why women were not given access.
But now this is also a problem that if a man fills a role that is a non-combat role in the military, do they not count as having served?
Yeah, you're being very specific for some reason, my man. Also, like, that's why that scene in Wonder
By the
Woman
way,
1,
being a non-combatant doesn't mean you're not gonna get injured. That's not how it works.
No. Especially when you're on the front. And that's why, that scene from Wonder Woman, the movie, with World War One or Two, I think so, where she, defies the person who's telling him, no, don't go out there. She defies him, gets out, and gets on the no man land between two factions and takes a fucking hit. Again, that scene. Men telling women you're not allowed somewhere, and women saying fuck you. That's why that scene was so important, and it resonated with the people. You fucking assholes. Sorry, it's just like, don't make a nerd go petty.
I like Alicia's comment. Field medics exist. Have these men never seen MASH?
Oh god.
I think this is an interesting question, and I'm going to pose it to you guys, and then we'll talk about it a little bit, and then this will be our last kind of talking point for today. This is why it's very important that Canadians pay attention and learn from what is happening in the US right now. It's a very real possibility we will follow suit next year. At Elon Musk, we need your help in Canada getting rid of Trudeau. He will be gone in the upcoming election. Breaking, X is now #1 news app on the App Store in Canada. News app! News!
Yeah, I can see how it's being, packaged and, presented as, with a bow tied to it. News app, yeah. Really. News app.
I had another one in here that was related to this. But I wanted to point out that this is clearly... Is this not election interference by a foreign nation? Is that not what this is?
That's it. It is what it is. And even like doing domestically, Elon Musk was interfering in elections domestically also. And that's a crime, if I'm not wrong. A federal crime, if I'm not wrong.
There's already investigations and compelling like what's come out, because like not everything in an ongoing investigation is public. The stuff that has come out already is very condemning in one particular direction, towards the Conservative Party of Canada. However, Elon Musk, who is not a resident of Canada, Elon Musk, who has actively interfered in America's election, probably illegally so, but likely will not face consequences for it due to Trump winning. At least he won't face consequences in the next 4 years. He could face them later, but not in the next 4 years, depending on what ends up being ratified and what doesn't, etc., etc., etc. But this is definitively the intention of, especially if you keep in mind also, if you go and look at a Trudeau post on Twitter, it is flooded with bots that are so incredibly just saying blatantly incorrect information that is like, so for example, if Trudeau says something, underneath it, completely non sequitur, not related to anything that tweet is saying, will say something along the lines of, instead of sending money to Ukraine, help Canadians who are suffering first. That is so boldly incorrect about how the Canadian government structure is and how budgeting functions in Canada. It's just such a gross misrepresentation. It's insane. And there's like all of the top replies which we know is catered by Elon, right? He picks and chooses what hits the top via money, right? We know that's already the case. And all of these bots that are being paid for are interfering in information on a news app that's being sold to Canadians.
So, if I may, so that's the thing, right? I think so. People who are of like reasonable mind, if I might dare say, they are what do you say? What's the word? They're not taking seriously the power of social media and the connectivity and the power of organization. Yeah. Morons can also organize and come together. And we are seeing the effects of that. Underestimating, yes. So yeah, we are underestimating these people. We should not, especially when they do have a tool, like Chesh said, a quote unquote news app with them that favors them. So they've got a handicap. They've got a support.
I am convinced that even if the Conservative Party wins the next election, they're not going to be able to get a whole lot done. And the reason they're not going to be able to get a whole lot done, even if they get like even if they were to get a supermajority, we don't have the stuff is not set up in their favor from a legal sense. Like our Supreme Court, etc., like the laws that are in place and the way our laws function, things that are ratified and codified in provinces or things that are ratified and codified in our federal government, right? However, I also think that because Quebecois don't like the Conservative Party right now, a good percentage of the Conservative Party don't like the Conservative Party right now, the Liberal Party doesn't like them, the NDP doesn't like them, and the Green Party doesn't like them. They're going to be fighting a very, very difficult battle in Parliament, even if they do get in. They're going to have to be, because everybody's going to coalition against them, even if they were to get voted in the first place.
And
but
still, I'll still say,
I'm not even
do
convinced.
not underestimate them.
Yes, I'm just trying to paint a clear picture. And New Brunswick and British Columbia voted in NDP this year for their preems. So their governments right now, their provincial governments, are NDP, not Conservative. And the Conservatives came really fucking close. In BC, they came out of nowhere. Something that happened in Canada to create the Conservative Party as it is now, that gave Harper as much power as it did, which, by the way, they still call this Harper's Conservatives, by the way. If that doesn't tell you anything. Because they coalesced. There were two conservative parties that coalesced into one to give them a massive edge over everybody else. And they got booted out so badly after 10 years of horseshit that they didn't even get the opposition. So, depending on what happens in America here and how Canadians respond to it, and quite frankly, I hope Twitter gets banned in Canada. I hope the app gets deleted, and I hope they get sued for being misinformation instead of being news. That even with all that going on, I hope that Canadians see what the fuck is going on. I hope they see this as foreign interference. I hope they are offended by it, as they should be. And I hope we swing so hard the other way that the Conservatives don't get to see the fucking light of day across the country for the next 5 years.
Oh, they get yeeted to the moon? Oh, yeah, okay. They got yeeted to the moon.
Get
that sounds like a plan.
Yeeted! Fuck you! Super duper
also,
fuck you.
Yeah, so do not underestimate the power of, like, RNGD said, Gaming said from the live chat, right? They said something on the lines of, never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups, Carlin. Yep. Yeah. And especially when they have a tool at their hands. There was a reason that people were worried when internet neutrality was not reinstated.
Yeah.
There was a reason. It's still not there. And that's why Elon can manipulate the fucking algorithm on his fucking news app.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. I hope that Canadians actually take a serious look, and especially Canadian women take a very serious look about what the Conservative Party is doing in America. Specifically because Harper and Pierre Poilievre have outwardly stated how excited they are that Trump won and how happy they are about it. Trudeau did his, congratulations to Trump. We work with whoever they voted for. It's not our job to say who they're allowed to have as their president. So they're clearly not happy about it, but they've done their due process. They have to acknowledge it. That is not what the Conservative Party did. The Conservative Party has congratulated him. They're happy about it, and they want to do what the Americans are doing, the Republican Americans are doing to you, Canadians. Canadian women.
How dare they?
Will declare right now publicly, and I will be telling everybody in my vicinity that if I find out anybody that I know personally votes for the Conservative Party in Canada in this next election, I am cutting ties. I will never speak to you again.
That's a fair thing, because if they are going to affect your rights,
you hate me.
Then,
as far as I'm concerned,
what's the point? And we saw on Twitter, it's not about looking after women or making women
caring
realize
for
that
children.
What their fucking role is.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's hate. It's fucking hate. It's last how many decades of like 3 to 4 decades of hate, because women came in swinging and they said, oh no, we want the share of the pie too. How dare you?
Yep.
And this is what's going to happen. It's going to be retaliatory.
They're going to take if you're an elderly person, they're going to take your Social Security. If you're going to be old in the next handful of years, they're going to take your Social Security. They're going to take your health care. They're going to take away your birth control and your sex education. They're going to take education away from your children. Do not be surprised that if you vote for the Conservative Party this year in Canada, they are going to start setting up the same way Trump did in 2016 to come around again.
Oh, boy.
So if they don't get it this time, they're going to do it again. If they don't get it the next time, they're going to do it again. They need to be shut down, and they need to be shut down so hard that the conservatives who do not agree with these extreme views need to push their party to split back into two again. That's what needs to happen. If you are a conservative and you don't agree with Poilievre, you need to bolster up with your conservatives who you do feel like represent you, who are not this extremist hate group, and you need to make them and tell them that they need to leave the party and be their own again.
Yeah.
And then, do not vote for them unless they do it.
Yeah, you have to oust them.
Yep.
You have to tell them that you're not us. You're not one of us. Even though it sounds really, really discriminatory and stigmatizing, at that level, it should be discriminatory and stigmatizing.
Yes.
Just say.
Yep. All right, that's our show. I hope Elon Musk gets in a lot of trouble for interfering with Canadian elections, and I hope Twitter gets banned because of it.
Yes.
I hope it gets straight up removed.
Yeah. Just gone. And then certain, parties who gave billions to Elon will realize, oh, that investment was bad.
Well, it's part of it is Saudi Arabia, right? That is indirectly Saudi Arabia interfering in foreign elections, in Canadian elections, and in American elections.
Yep.
Simple as that. And Feline from the chat says, quote, "No, I don't hate you. That I vote for them doesn't mean I hate you. Yeah, no, fuck off. It will affect me personally nonetheless, what they want to do." Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter. It means that you didn't care enough about me to not vote in a way that wasn't going to cause me. You don't care enough about my well-being to do anything to ensure my safety.
Yeah. So you can fuck right off. To the moon if I don't care.
To the moon!
If I might care.
Go to Mars. Take Elon, put him in a box, all of you in a box, go to Mars.
And leave him there.
Fuck off.
I'm
you
sure
can all
he
stay
can
there for all
Mars.
I care. Good luck. Yeah. I don't think those things are gonna perform very well.
Send all the fucking Nazis and the Nazi sympathizers to Mars and let them stay there.
Alright, women and states, you guys know what you need to do. You need to talk to your local government, talk to your state government, and make sure they start putting in protections for you. If you're in the state, they start putting protections for you if you travel outside of the state, and protections from anybody going into your state, codifying things like no-fault divorce, and codifying things like reproductive rights for women at minimum. There's going to be a lot of other things that are going to need to be done, but that would be a great place to start from.
Start from. Yeah, be active. If you want to see a change, don't just sit and bitch and moan. Oh, yeah, my representative was supposed to do that. They didn't. So what are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it? Yeah. What are you going to do about it? Simple
Thank you
as
so
that.
much for joining us. Any last words, Melania?
Thanks, everyone. America, what have you done?
Hey!
Simple as that.
Hey, all of you white men
Knock, knock.
that did this, and
Knock,
white
knock.
women who did this, all the people who voted for Trump, go fuck yourselves. Oh, and especially Democratic Party leaders, go fuck yourselves. Okay,
For
bye.
your fucking incompetence. Bye-bye.
Pathetic. Welcome back to Don't Back Friday. Don't Back Friday. Don't Back Friday.
It's going to be fun.